Yo, what's up, everybody? How you doing? This is your Coach Renz. It's a heavy day. It's a very heavy day. And before I get into the heavy of it, I always, regardless of the subject matter, want to thank everyone who supports the channel through ordering from Uncle Renz Popcorn. That's UR Popcorn, the letter U, the letter R, the word popcorn.com. Everyone who supports the channel through Patreon and who subscribes to the channel, so hit the bell icon. I want to thank everybody, give my gratitudes first. I have mixed emotions, though. I have very mixed emotions right now. And beyond the emotions, I have mixed thoughts. One of the things, and I want to go ahead and make sure it's very clear, because some of you are going to like some of the things I'm going to say, and some of you won't like the things I'm going to say. But one of the things that destroys anything, destroys a movement, destroys your being, destroys a family, destroys a community, destroys anything, is inaccurate thinking. Is thinking inaccurately. And in this subject matter, as far as the killer cop who shot and killed her neighbor accidentally, and only got sentenced 10 years of prison, I'm glad that she got sentenced to 10 years at a minimum, considering that so many times the police officers get away for killing a black person. Some of the things you're not going to like. Some of the things you will. Now, this video comes on the heels of me talking about the pathway to the Creator is through love and forgiveness and compassion. That every religion, Hindu, Buddhist, Tao, Christianity, Islam, they all talk about forgiveness, having a forgiving heart, a circumcision of the heart. And I understand that. And I'm going to very quickly, the family members, the brother who hugged the young lady, the cop killing young lady, the brother, that's his prerogative. Their mother, that's their prerogative. That's their internal family right and prerogative. If their religion tells them that they need to forgive the person for what they did, I have no problems with them forgiving the person. The brother making a statement that he doesn't even want her to go to jail for her to escape punishment. Well, you're not modeling your religion. I believe the family is Christian. And even in Christianity, yeah, people have committed crimes within it, and people are still punished for the crime that they committed. They're still punished for their crime. From some of the simplest crimes to the most egregious crimes. They're still punished. If a man rapes a woman who is betrothed to another man or married to another man, then that person's punishment is death. So they're still punished. They may receive forgiveness from the community, from the family, whomever, but they're still punished. The slave master who beats his slave, and the slave is unable to rise within 2 days. The slave master is punished. So even in that book, even in the Torah, the Hebrew Bible, the Christian Bible, the Quran, there is still punishment for transgressions against other people, for transgressions against the sanctity of life. There are still punishments. There's a reason why they all tell you not to murder, because there are still punishments for those murders. And in each one of them, if you don't come to a loving heart agreement with whomever the process of redemption is, then there's a punishment. So the brother's saying that he didn't want her to go to jail. You're not living your book. Get with it. But him having a forgiving heart towards her, the mother having a forgiving heart towards her, that's their prerogative, that's their business. And we are none who can say that they are wrong for forgiving her, because for that family, that may be the only way they can reconcile this, the only way they can continue to live with this. I know people who are still dealing with deaths that happened years and years and years ago. We had a death of a baby in my family for the first time. A baby passed on, and a small child passed away, and it was through an accident. And I know that some members of my family still struggle dealing with that accident. My uncle passed away this year from a motorcycle accident. There are still people who struggle with the person who hit him while he was riding his motorcycle. So I know that people deal with it differently, and however they choose to deal with it, that's their prerogative. And none of us has the right to tell them how they should deal with it, them personally. So for the brother and for the parents, the mother, the rest of their family, if whatever religion that they practice, they find some form of peace by forgiving this young lady, that they don't want to carry that around within them. As many people will teach you, if you don't forgive, then you carry the punishment within yourself. So for them to forgive so quickly, that is their prerogative. That is their prerogative. My first issue is with them not wanting punishment. Too often, the oppressed people, the ones that's been oppressed, the one that's been done wrong the most, and in this situation, this world scope of the last 2,000 years, black people, African people, people of high melanation have been the ones that have been oppressed the most, and yet we are the most forgiving people. We forgive them over and over again. You kept us in chains and you beat us for 400 years, and we forgive you. Forget about it. Forgive you. We don't want you. We don't want equal treatment or fairness. Forget about it. You came into our motherland and you colonized us through brutality, through a trans-Sahara slave trade for the Arabs and for a transatlantic slave trade, and then for European colonization. You've beaten and you've taken, you've stolen the resources. You told the president, the king of the Congo, that you were his brother, but then you stole everything from them, and they still live in abject poverty today, and we're expected to just forgive them. Sure. Give a little forgiveness, but not without punishment, not without retribution. In America, when you look at, and let's get some accurately thinking, we should not compare the punishments, the judgments of one person, a black person in one county, to another black person in another county in another state. One of the problems that we have in this country is that our judicial system is set up where states determine whatever they want to have. And for all you black people in America who are Clinton-loving black people, the 1, 2, 3 strike rule that was put in place that has people in life prisons simply because they stole something 3 times. They got caught on a drug offense 3 times. And now the judge's hands is tied. And the person gets a life sentence. And that in one ACLCU report, whatever it is, you know what I'm talking about, Civil Liberties Union, in their report, it showed that 65% of the people who received that are people of color, black people. Not people of color, just black people in America. 65%. When we only represent 15% of the population, now yes, we can point to economic factors all we want. But the problem is that our system have a systematic racism encoded in it. And the states are not going to fix this on their own. So for everybody screaming and yelling about this, then you need to stop voting for your Democrats, stop voting for your Republicans, form a National Black Party, and vote in your own governors, vote in your own mayors, vote in your own local council members, vote in your own federal legislatures, and get them to do the work for you, because the ones who are Democrats and Republicans are not going to do this for you. We expect to continue to follow their pathway, their plan, the plan that got you into your oppression. You continue to follow that pathway. Remember, it was this 2-party, 3-party system that said that your slavery is okay, that your Jim Crow laws are okay. It was these things that kept you chained to this system. And now you are of this forgiving heart, looking for the government to do something different, but you're unwilling to stand. Be forgiving, but stand your ass up. And stop taking it. You over in Africa just taking it. Here in America, taking it. You just keep taking it right up the chute. Why? Because you've been trained to do so. You feel powerless. Oh, we voted for somebody. We formed our own party. We only represent 15% of the population. What is that going to do? It's going to get some changes done. You think the Independent Party cares? You think these Muslims who have put their own Muslim people into Congress, you think they care that they are a small minority? No, because they realize that you got to build from somewhere. And we're not building from anywhere. We're not even building in our own communities when we don't support the businesses in our own communities. $16 billion going to Chick-fil-A and Popeye's chicken over a piece of damn chicken, when yet you got businesses in your community that's suffering. But you run to whatever's popular. Bunny. If you was in front of me, I'd call you a sucker punk for doing it. I have a problem with expecting no retribution, no punishment. Forgive, sure, yes, your heart should be forgiving. If that's the way of Krishna, if that's the way of Buddha, if that's the way of Allah, if that's the way of Jesus, forgive the people individually in your heart. But even those people stood for something. They still stood for the punishment. Did Yeshua not walk into the church and flip the damn tables? He stood for at least that. Flip the tables. But you're unwilling to flip the tables. They're still coming into your neighborhoods shooting you up. Flip the damn table. They're still coming into your neighborhood taking all the money out. Flip the tables. They're still coming into your neighborhoods and making it a food desert. Flip the table. They're still coming into your neighborhoods and making your schools worse and worse and worse. Flip the table. And you still get these same politicians that give you the same rhetoric every year, but you're unwilling to flip the table because you're caught up into this mindset of waiting for the hereafter. In the next life, when I'm up, this life means nothing, because when I'm up with Jesus, when I'm up with Allah, when I'm up with Muhammad, then all things will be grand. But you got to stand for something now. The kingdom of heaven is all around you and inside of you. So why are you trying to wait? Because everybody else is getting their kingdom of heaven now. Getting their kingdom of heaven now. So be forgiving. Have a forgiving heart. That's fine. Have it. But stand up. Demand equal treatment. Put your own people in political power. Build your community so that the police don't feel like they can run roughshod over you because you don't own the land. You don't own the businesses. As long as you don't have any stake, any skin in the game, then of course they can keep running over you. I understand a forgiving heart. My other issue. This judge. Judge, if you got a forgiving heart, do that in the background. If you want to provide this lady with a Bible, do that in the background. But how dare you, as a judge, as an official representative of the judicial system, blatantly go out and hug this woman. Then you go and hug the family, telling her she was great for following an example of Christ. Do that in your chambers. But how dare you, in the public view, misuse our public trust? It is your responsibility to uphold fairness and equal treatment. The reason why the scales of justice is held by a woman and she is blind is because you're not supposed to see color. You're not supposed to see money. They're supposed to walk in on the level and leave the same. And your judgment should be fair. What you should never do is go down there and hug the person. Did you hug the black guy or the black woman? Where's that picture? Where's that proof? Maybe you did. I don't know, but I don't see it. I don't see any other judges going around hugging people. And you a black woman, judge, hugging a white woman that killed a black man. Regardless of how you actually feel, the optics of that is horrific. What, you think you're going to set an example and the other white judges around the country are all of a sudden going to say, oh, let's follow the black woman? We have been the oppressed. And the oppressor only understands a couple of things. They understand violence, because that's how they got to be oppressors. They understand power. That's how they got to be oppressors. They understand finances. That's how they got to be oppressors. They understand land ownership. That's how they got to be oppressors. They understand resource ownership. That's how they got to be oppressors. They do not understand you going down there and hugging people and giving forgiveness. If you want to do that in your chambers. But now you're under investigation. You are under investigation. Why? Because the other boys in the boys club and the ladies in the ladies club who are of less pigmentation do not want you setting a standard of you hugging the murderer, the one who got prosecuted. No, you stepped out of line. You went too far. They are Christian probably just like you. Most of them, I would bet, are Christian just like you, but yet, did you see any of them doing that? Did you see any of them making that move? No, you don't. You know why? Because you're displacing the base of power. So, I hope you get this part. Plain and simple. Unseated, whatever it's called. But at the end of the day, If the family want to forgive, and I do believe that having a loving and forgiving heart, I can't quite say that I would be there so quickly. At one point, some point, maybe. But if the family wanted to do that, that's their prerogative. But no punishment, no retribution, no, we got a problem with that. And black people got to stop allowing no punishment, no retribution to come from those who oppress us, those who will hold us down, those who will come into our lands and take from us, those who will come into your neighborhood and treat you like dogs and treat you like crap and shit all over you. We have to stop being the doormat of the world. Here, Africa, Caribbean, America, wherever we are in this world, we are the doormat, but we have to finally stand up and say, no more will I be the doormat for anyone. If you don't stand up, then you will continuously be abused. Point blank, simply put. I know this is not my most popular style of message, but it had to be said. So I'm going to have a great day. So y'all have a great day. And remember, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is truly non-negotiable.